Hello, this is Marie Holiday. Welcome to another one of my live stream lectures as I'm going on another walk on this phenomenal walking trail near my home. And this trail is, I have no idea how many miles you can go. You can probably go indefinitely. So I appreciate all my supporters and viewers and members who have been following my channel, following my journey. My channel is a little over 3 years old, and since I'm in full retirement, I'm really excited in terms of me having the time, in terms of where the direction I'm gonna take my channel and my brand and my company, Paris and Associates Resource Center. Although all of this, even though my channel and the services I provide, is a part of hobbies I do, but at the same time, I've turned my passions into streams of income. That's the key right there. So with that being said, the focus of this conversation is going to be the success in being a content creator. I don't care what social media platform you are a content creator or thinking about being a content creator, but it's specifically YouTube, because I am a YouTube content creator. My channel got monetized in January this year, so 3 years old. But the success of my channel or any channel, the success of a content creator is hinged upon, and I'm gonna say this loud and clear, the success of a YouTube content creator is hinged on you holding yourself accountable to print out those YouTube community guidelines and to read those guidelines in brevity, delve deep and read it, and to stay abreast of the YouTube community guidelines. When I became monetized, and it took me two and a half years of blood, sweat, and tears to meet those YouTube qualifications to become a monetized channel. And the guidelines at the time I became monetized is I had to attain 1,000 subscribers, and I had to attain 4,000 watch hours within a 12-month time frame, and that was a tremendous feat. So once I went through all of the steps and became monetized January of this year, one of the first things I did is I literally went into the YouTube studio, and there's an area in the YouTube studio where you can go in and you can pull up those YouTube community guidelines. And I took it a step further. I printed out those YouTube community guidelines, and I got a binder and sheet protectors, and I put those guidelines. There's something about having also something in your hand. I put those YouTube community guidelines in a sheet protector, and I sat down and I read and I read and I read. And then I have to stay abreast of any updated community guidelines, because those are the rules. Those are the rules that is going to keep you out of trouble. Those are the rules that are going to make sure to ensure every content you put out there it links to the guideline. And that is going to be the number one driving force, the success of your channel or the failure of your channel. Because if you are not paying attention to those guidelines, if you ain't print that stuff out and put it in the binder and read it and to stay abreast of it, don't go by what you hear people talking about on YouTube, the disgruntled content creators. Oh, YouTube after me. Oh, YouTube suspended took down some of my videos. Oh, I don't know what the problem is with YouTube. They must got it out for me. And I'm listening to these people. And when I listen to anyone who got something going on and mad at YouTube, I'm also paying attention to listen to the words that come out of their mouth in terms of have you took it upon yourself, first of all, to read the guidelines? They are talking about how mad and bad YouTube treating them and making and about to shut down their channel and suspending them or making them take down certain videos. But I don't ever hear them talking about how I spent time reading those community guidelines on an ongoing basis. I don't hear them talking about nothing about that. Because my thing is, the way I look at it, because I'm business, and I'm going to make it a point to revisit those guidelines. I literally pull my binder out and reread those community guidelines once a month. And I'm here to tell you, you can also take tutorials on YouTube Studio. They're going to always give you update videos on tutorials about or new guidelines that are coming down the pipeline or upcoming. And I'm reading this stuff and I'm studying this stuff. They got a whole tutorial on the YouTube Studio guideline for any content creator to empower yourself, to educate yourself. So that's going to all tie into the success and greatness of your channel. And I'm here to tell you. And I'm going to say something. One of the pet peeves that I have, my impression that it's a pet peeve for YouTube, as I don't read all them guidelines and reread those guidelines and listen to those YouTube tutorials from the source. One of the main things that'll get a content creator in trouble, and I don't blame YouTube, I don't blame them. One of the number one top things that will shut your channel down in terms of utilizing somebody else's content. That's right, plagiarism. Cutting and editing and pasting and using somebody else's published work as your own. I don't blame you. You need to be shut down. Because in the world of academics, I don't care if you're in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, one of the number one things that get your behind in trouble is copying somebody else's work. That's big in the world of academics, copying somebody else's work. I've seen people almost jeopardize being able to graduate from college, graduate from high school because they got caught plagiarizing. That will get you in trouble even in the world of YouTube, in terms of plagiarizing, using somebody else's video as your own, and that they have published, and they talk about that. They talk about that in the YouTube community guidelines in terms of that plagiarizing or using somebody else's work. That can get you behind in trouble. That ain't nothing new. That applies to the world of academics. So I don't blame YouTube for that. So when a lot of times, when I'm listening to a lot of content creators airing out their dirty laundry for the whole world to hear, how YouTube done them wrong, how they don't got a warning, or they don't got a strike, or they have been terminated for a certain amount of time, or YouTube took down a whole lot of their videos. But then, like I said, I never hear them talking about how they spent time, reading those guidelines, or they spent time in reviewing the guidelines in reference to seeing what YouTube is talking about. It's all laid out for you as a content creator. So if you ain't doing your part, to ensure that every time you come in front of that camera, everything you say, everything you do, everything you upload, if it ain't in line with the YouTube community guidelines, if you ain't done your homework, if you ain't studied those guidelines, if you ain't revisit that information, then you ain't done your part. So what do you expect? I'm keeping it real. Hold yourself accountable to do your part as a content creator applicable to your channel. Hold yourself accountable to get the information from the source, YouTube, about those guidelines versus listening to folks who are upset and disgruntled and who don't have their channel shut down. Go to the source. Hold yourself accountable to all of that. Go to the YouTube source. Do your due diligence and to read this information and to study this information on an ongoing basis to ensure the success of your channel versus listening to folks who get in trouble with YouTube. And I'm here to tell you, I'm keeping it real. Even though I'm retired, let me break this thing down to you in terms of the importance. Look, they out there look like they playing. I don't know if y'all can see that, but look like those kids out there playing soccer. They got all kind of sports events in this nature trail area that I walk in. But I'm gonna say this: even though I'm a retired and as a licensed clinical addiction specialist, my credential was governed by a board. I still maintain my credentials for now. My credentials, my licensed clinical addiction specialist credential is governed by a board. And when we go through credentialing process, it took me years to get that credential. When we go through that process, the board, the addiction board, make it a point where we have to read and study the code of ethics that governs that credential, that governs that profession. And integrated within that code of ethics, it talks about publication credit. That's right. As a licensed addiction expert, it would be unethical for me to utilize published work of another addiction counselor without publication credit. That can get me, that could get any person with the addiction credential in trouble with the board, and you can lose your credential. Publication credit is huge, because you got a lot of people when they're going through the credentialing process, because that requires graduate study, that requires doing a tremendous amount of reports and published work. If you call yourself plagiarizing and using another addiction counselor published work, you can get yourself in a world of trouble with that addiction board, and they will revoke your license. And when you get your license revoked, your career is over. So I say that to say, in many genres, that publication credit is powerful and is real in the academic world, or credentialing body boards world, the YouTube world, and it should be. And it should be. Because I'm going to tell you something. As a content creator, I take those community guidelines serious. Everything I do as a content creator, I'm going to make sure it is in line with those guidelines. I don't care if it's a short. I don't care if it's a longer version video. I do not care. I'm going to make sure everything that I present and upload is 100% in line with the community service guidelines. And I'm doggone for sure ain't gonna plagiarize or utilize somebody else's video that they have published in any shape, form, or fashion. And I'm here to tell you, because as a content creator, you owe it to your viewers and you owe it to your audience to ensure that all of your content is 100% originated from you as a content creator. And I'm here to tell you, it's no difference from when children go to school. If you got kids or grandkids, I'm sure you're going to tell your kids or grandkids whatever work, schoolwork that they present, that they have to do, it is 100% their work, not any work that they copied from another schoolmate. And I'm here to tell you. So it's no difference with YouTube when it comes to publication credit, making sure you are the original author. In my impression of this, but individuals who've been in trouble with YouTube, it's high probability from the stories I heard, and many of the scenarios tie into violation of video credit. They don't utilize somebody's work or the whole video or part of the video or the music in some kind of way, and that is how they've gotten their behind in trouble. Follow the guidelines. Follow the guidelines as if your life depends on it in order to be successful at what you do in a content creator. That's the business side. There we go. That's the business side of being a content creator. And I'm here to tell you, that's one of the reasons why, yeah, I collaborate with people. I may consult with other content creators, but I do not align myself with anybody. Marie Holiday, audience of one. I'm solo, baby. But that don't mean I don't collaborate and consult with like-minded content creators, but I'm not going to attach or link my channel with nobody else. And I'm here to tell you, because I'm responsible for me and not other people. And I'm also selective on who I collaborate and consult with, and that's real. And because I got my brand to protect, I got my company to protect, I got my brand and my YouTube channel to protect. And I'm here to tell you, because my company 20 years old, 20 years strong, my YouTube channel 3 years strong, my book been in publication for 2+ years, so I got a brand to protect. And that's the business side, and I'm here to tell you. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are a content creator, if you are thinking about being a content creator, if you got a community wall on your YouTube channel, you need to post this powerful information on your community community wall, because this is the business side of being a content creator, and it's real. Because bottom line, if a content creator violate those community guidelines and they getting them strikes and getting their warnings, YouTube can and they will shut you down. And that's real. And I'm here to tell you. And they got the right to do that because we're in their house. We are on their platform. They own YouTube. They are inviting us to be a content creator, but the trade-off, you got to follow the rules. It's their house. It's no difference if somebody come visit your house, where you pay the bills. They got to follow the rules and guidelines of your household. Okay, they can't just walk in your household and do what they want to do and go in your refrigerator and go in your cabinets and go in your purse and take your money and use your phone without permission. That's your house. So think of it as being a content creator. We're in the house of YouTube. And we got to follow their rules. And those rules are the community guidelines. And I'm here to tell you. So ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to do a lecture on this because this is real stuff. This is real talk. This is real. And like I said, share this information. Put this information on your community wall. And that's all I have on this topic. Simplify, Simple Fidelis. And I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great one.